She's a single mom, she's a business owner, and she's an entrepreneur. And she will teach you today how to do real estate. Welcome on the Don Barron's show, the Wholesale Diva.
Thank you.
Mom, it's a pleasure having you at the show.
Thank you.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about being a single mom?
Well, I'm a single mom of four children. I have a 43-year-old, a 38-year-old, a 27-year-old, and a 26-year-old. I have three girls and one boy. And all of my children are involved in enterprising businesses. I raised them to be entrepreneurs.
Wow. So, what is your background?
I grew up in the projects of Chicago.
Mhm.
We didn't have a lot like some of the other children in the community that I
Yeah.
attended school and everything with. But I always had this burning desire to want a better life and to experience a better life. And I always began to search out mentees and coaches and people that could help me to lead me into where I wanted to go. I seeked out people in the community that were at the level that I wanted to be at, to have them mentor me and train me. And that resulted in me moving through life, learning a lot about business, learning a lot about negotiations, learning a lot about how to run small businesses. We call it the champagne business on a beer budget. That's one of our terms. So I had a lot of good coaches and mentors all through life to help me get out of the ghetto.
Wow. We understand you're a business owner.
Correct.
So can you tell the people some of the businesses you?
Because I have a lot that I'm involved in now as joint ventures. I don't personally still run them, but I have joint ventures with different individuals. So I run a gift basket company, and what I do is I make designer gift baskets, and I sell them to hotels and cruise lines and businesses and corporations, and even we have some individual clients. And they either give the baskets away to their clients as promotional items or marketing material, or they give them away for raffles. They're used for raffles, a lot of them, and we make a lot of baskets for beauty pageants and for conferences and events and things like that. So that's one of the businesses that I run. Another business that I have is branding and marketing myself. I am known as the Wholesale Diva all over Google and the internet, and I travel around the United States. Clients fly me in and out and have me come and speak and train their groups and organizations in different aspects of whether they want to learn how to produce special events for fundraisers for a nonprofit, or whether they want to learn real estate investing, or whether they want to learn, how to organize their business or things like that. And I also joint venture with other speakers, and we do speakers panels and things like that around the United States. I do fashion shows, I do beauty pageants, I do expos and trade shows. Wow. And all of these now are businesses that I hire myself out as a consultant to do as a fundraiser for nonprofits.
Wow.
But my major focus is, with me, my passion is real estate.
Wow. So I want to ask you this, I from recently from where I met you and I heard you talk and I was like, oh my God, how can I have her on my show? You have this connection with the Nahed people, that is a non-profit organization in the African community.
Correct.
So with the real estate initiative that you have, how can that be of help to the African community?
Well, first of all, I met you at the Nahed meeting, and I was introduced by a gentleman that is my promoter now. He brought me to the community and introduced me. And one of the focuses of that meeting that I met you at was they were talking about building a generational wealth situation for their community, and that really resonated with me, because that's kind of an initiative I'm on to try to do that in the African American community. They were so warm and open and receptive to me when I presented that I wanted to work with them as far as helping them learn the real estate investing business, that I am very interested in working with them as a nonprofit nationwide. And I'm in hopes that the organization will send me all around the country to all their different divisions and churches, so that I can speak to them and educate them on how to invest in real estate in America.
Wow. This is very, very important. What marked the turning point in your life after growing up in the projects in Chicago? This somehow inspires me a lot. And, like a gentleman growing up, I really, want to learn something out of your experiences in life. So, what marked the turning point in your life?
I don't think there was any one turning point. I think there were a series of turning points. I believe at the age of maybe 8 or 9, 10, maybe between 8 and 10. Constantly going to school, getting into fights with kids, constantly having kids angry because I had a better sweater, a better pair of shoes. And God, if they had known my mom was shopping at secondhand stores. But my mom just knew how to pick quality. You know, she would go to these stores and pick the quality clothes, the used clothes. And so when we went to school, kids thought we had money, and they were like, "Well, why are you living in the ghetto with us? And you got nice shoes and nice suit, and you know your hair's always done," because my mom learned how to do hair, and you know we all learned how to do hair. So I got tired of being badgered, and I said to myself one day, even as a small child, maybe I'm not supposed to be in this world. I was like, wait, God, you might have made a mistake here. You kind of dropped me in the wrong neighborhood, you know, because my mentality was that we were supposed to be better than that, because here my mother knew how to give us an image of looking more prosperous than the other people living right next door to us. So just in that in itself, that shows me that her mentality and her able to dress us like that, and us absorbing and able to carry the image of those clothes, because we didn't put them on and feel slouched or anything. We went to school proud, you know. I mean, I had the bright orange blouse and nobody else had. So anyway, I think that I looked at my parents, and I basically wanted a situation where we could be out and have a home like what I saw on TV or what I saw in magazines. I always wanted that freedom for us, and that was kind of the initial step, that I wanted to get us out of the ghetto. So I started studying, and like I said, joining mentors and coaches in my community, people that were more successful than my parents, that had a nice home in the suburbs of Chicago where I lived, that drove a nice car, that wore fur coats back in those days and everything. So I started beginning to put myself under those people and ask them to mentor me, you know, just take me under their wing and teach me. And lo and behold, I thought they were going to teach me, well, the first lady, she ran a fashion school. I thought she was going to teach me fashion modeling, because that would have been my way out of the ghetto, to become this beautiful professional model. And I did become a professional model for almost 10 years, but this lady taught me business. She took me and taught me how to count money. She taught me how to keep ledgers. She taught me how to make sure the models were lined up correctly for the fashion show, how to line their clothes up backstage, how to hire the video person, how to hire the DJ, how to rent the facility. She had me structure. She took me on as I was supposed to go and clean her modeling school. My arrangement, at that age, I'm negotiating. I said, I would like to clean your modeling school in exchange if you teach me modeling. And she said, but you don't understand, honey. The money is not made with the model. The money is made with the model's agent and producer. And that was a light bulb moment for me.
Wow.
So she taught me, be the boss, never the employee. So I never, when I was a model, I was also a choreographer and the coordinator of the show and the executive producer. I was never caught up in just walking the runway and making the money.
Wow.
So that was one of my earlier experiences, or aha moments. And then I've had a lot of them throughout life. Yeah.
Wow. So, what made you to get into real estate?
I was going through a divorce. At the time, I was married to a gentleman in the military, and I was going through a divorce. And I was having my pity party. You know, when he announced that he wanted a divorce, I kind of fell into this depression for about 3 or 4 days. And actually, I was sipping a cup of tea. I was sipping a cup of tea and watching TV. You know, TV is for the mindless. If you're sitting watching hours of TV all day long, every day, you are totally frying your brain. Get away from in front of the TV. So I'm watching TV. And
get away in front of the TV.
Get away from in front of the TV.
Yeah.
It's a mind blocker. Go watch the episode of Batman where the Joker, remember the Joker put one in everybody's home? Okay, it was a mind control thing. So I'm watching TV in this commercial. And mind you, I've seen this commercial 1,000 times. But tonight something resonated. It said, come to this seminar this weekend, learn how to buy real estate, no money, no banks, and no credit. So I said to myself, I'm getting ready to go through a divorce. I won't have any money until everything is settled. I don't have good credit.
Yeah.
And I definitely can't walk into a bank. But I want to buy some houses. And again, thinking like the boss, I said, I want to buy some investment properties. It wasn't even about me getting a house for me and my children. That I knew would come as a result of me out doing the business. So I got a babysitter, and I went to the seminar that weekend. I did my first deal in 2 weeks. I made $10,299. And I was hooked.
Wow. Wow.
Get me?
Yeah. You know, it is not really all that easy. You know, everything I believe is energy.
Yes.
And energy comes in two forms: your thoughts and how you feel,
Correct.
and that makes your world. So I don't know what is the strength behind your success from the homes I have seen you flip, the homes you own, you know, you're living lavish, you
No,
know.
I live very low key. I am so under the radar. I live very low key. I'm not a flashy person. I don't live in a big flashy house. I don't drive a big flashy car. My focus now at this point in my life, once I've mastered this and I've trained other people in it and they became successful in it, my focus at this point is I'm an educator. I'm an educator by nature. I'm an educator and a nurse. So my wanting to give back side of me, the nursing side of me, and my education side, wanting to teach and train other people and show them that they can do this, has mellowed out at this point in my life. And what I want to do now is just educate people and show them how to do this. So I don't live a lavish life. I'm kind of like Jesus. I'm traveling all around the country on expense accounts.
Yeah, you were once a time a nurse.
Pardon me?
You were a nurse, right?
I was a nurse.
How many jobs have you like had in your?
I probably in my lifetime had about 30 or 40 jobs, and I got fired or either I quit every one.
And why?
Because I was supposed to be an entrepreneur, and I kept fighting it. If you have something deep down inside you, that book you want to write, that play you want to write, that video company or TV show you want to start, that real estate business, that travel company you want to start, I'm telling you, go after your dreams. Go after them. Just go after them with a vengeance and watch how the universe opens up. As soon as I took a focus and said, this is what I want to do with my life, the universe opened up all kind of doors for me, and I met all kind of people to help me in this journey. Some have been good, some have been bad. Some are still in my life for the last 10 or 20 years. But if you really, really pursue your passion, I think that's what I did. I took a position and said, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And I love what I do now. I love it.
Wow.
Probably wouldn't want to do anything else.
This gets me a little bit confused. How do I go about selling houses, buying and selling houses with no capital and no loan and perhaps no license? How is that possible?
That's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, because it drives me crazy.
We have, and it's not just myself. If you go on YouTube or you just Google on the internet, there's a process called wholesaling, and there's also subject tos and lease options. There are a lot of different techniques in the real estate business that you can do without having a realtor license. People have been doing them for centuries. They didn't just come around. But to answer your question, it's kind of a lot of information and it has a lot of moving parts. So I recommend that people come to my workshops or my trainings, and then I take you through intensive 2 to 3 day trainings where you actually learn the business and learn the process of how to do the business. Now understand, this is not for everybody.
Yeah.
You have to have the drive, the ambition. You have to have some management skills, because you're going to have to build a team under you. Because one person cannot do all the different moving parts of the real estate transaction.
Yeah.
So you need to have teams in place. And in some instances, we even use real estate agents as part of our team. So it's a business you're setting up. This is not just a hobby. It's an actual business that you're setting up and structuring. One of the other things that I found, we did a survey about 2.5 years ago, myself and my team, and we found that there are 3 types of people that come to my seminars. The first person is the person like yourself who might say, I want to get into the business, I want to make this another business for me, and I want to do the business. I want to set it up, structure it, and run it like a business. The second person that comes to our seminar just says, well, I just have some money, and I just want you to find me a house, but I have bad credit.
Okay.
So for that person, we have a program that we put them into. And then the third person that might be sitting in the audience, I understand these people are all intermixed. The third person that might be sitting in the audience might say, well, I don't want her to find me a house. I'm not interested in a specific house. I'm not going to do all that work and set up a team and build a business, but I have $100,000 over here in my 401k. And I just want to give her access or have that money available for her to use, and I want her to bring me some deals, and I want a return on my money. So for individuals like that, we will work with them in terms of buying properties to sell to person number 2 or to person number 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there are 3 types of people that come to my seminar. So it's, like I said, it's too broad a question to answer. because it depends on what each person is looking for in life. Does that make sense?
Makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Madam, I was really, this is very, very interesting. And believe me, I think you are like a beacon of light to
Thank
many
you.
women out there, you know, especially in the African community, where women are taught to stay at home, you know, take care of the children, you know, make a little money.
And go to
know,
work as a nurse.
Go to work as a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let me say 80% of African women in America are nurses.
Correct.
And they've been around that circle. And you coming into the African community, I think it will help a lot of these women get out of that circle.
Exactly.
And you said something about thinking out of the box, walking out of the box. What do you really mean by that?
Well, you know what I always resort back to, Baron? You remember the movie The Matrix?
Yeah, Matrix.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
If you've not seen that movie, go and watch it, and it will make total sense once I break it down to you in this interview. So in the movie, the young man is asleep at his computer.
Yeah.
He's caught up in selling illegal, I think he was selling illegal information from the computer. And he was just living this drudgery life. Get up, go to work, go to Starbucks, get a cup of coffee, go to work, get out. He was living in this circle, what we call the rat race, right?
Yeah.
And his mind, by meeting another group of people that had stepped outside the quote unquote system
Yeah.
and learned how to live, but they were in a whole nother plane. They were on another plane, for lack of a better term. Now, you don't necessarily have to go on another plane or have this metaphysical spiritual experience. However, if you're working for someone 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, or even on salary working for a company or something, you're making somebody else rich.
Yeah.
You're building someone else's dream.
That's
There's
true.
a saying, if you don't work on your dream, you're going to work on somebody else's.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, you can either
Right.
make your dream or you help other people
Build their dream.
build their dreams. Either you build your dreams or you help other people build their dreams.
That's what the movie The
absolutely
Matrix
correct.
was about.
Yeah.
Neo was going to work every day for this corporation, helping them build their dream. And in the movie, the analogy of the corporation were the agents
Yeah.
that kept showing up in his life. So Morpheus took him out of that environment and showed him in reality. Red pill, green pill.
Yeah.
Take this one and go back to your little measly life, working for somebody the rest of your life, making them rich. Or take this one and see the reality that you are a slave mentally working for someone. We send our children to school, have them get a degree or a series of degrees, and they owe all this debt. So they get out of college and they owe $100,000 in debt. They have no clue how to get out of debt because they're not taught how to manage money in school.
Yeah.
So they have all this debt. Then they go work a job for somebody for $15,000, $20,000, or $30,000. I'm sorry, $15,000 or $20,000 or $30,000. $30. I can't get my words out.
Yeah.
For $10 to $30 an hour. And they think they're living large. They go and get the nice car and the nice apartment and the nice friends, and they're living this dream, but they are building someone else's dream. My focus is educating people and teaching them, build your dream.
Build your dream.
Write that book. Start that restaurant. You know, open up that travel agency. Buy that car dealership.
God.
Live your dream. So the analogy with the Matrix, the movie, is that I'm trying to help people get out of the Matrix.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Madam, so it's only through real estate. Is there any other thing, you know, because you started a whole lot of businesses, but right now your main focus is real estate. Are there other businesses you want to introduce into the community that can?
I would like to find out, and this is part of my team's philosophy. We want to find out where a person is at. If a woman, for example, has been really good at putting together banquets for the church or special events for her children's school, I would ease that woman into special events.
Yeah.
And if that's not what she wants to do after being successful in it, and she says, well, that's not really what I want to do. What I want to do is own a special events company and hire out employees to go do special events under contract. Then we can move her to that next level. Because that should always be your objective, to be the boss. Not, you know, just running the company and doing all the work. Be the boss and, you know, manage people. So I think we look at people at where they're at when we come into the NAHAB community, we're going to find out what level people are at or what their interests are and try to approach that if that's something that they're open and receptive to.
Yeah, definitely.
I will make it clear that people have to be open and receptive to knowledge when you bring it to them. Moses had the most hard-headed group of people in the world. For 40 years, he argued with them, and they did everything he told them not to do.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy mission in life to be an educator.
I know.
So there are tons of people that won't listen to me or won't, apply what I've taught them or whatever. But then there's that few, and it will escalate them to another level. And those are the ones I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the others.
Yeah.
I'm like Moses. I don't I don't want the drama.
Yeah. So, madam, how many children do you have?
I have 4 children.
4 children. And how old are they?
43, 38, 27, and 26.
Is any of your child, are they involved in your business?
All my children are entrepreneurs. They're not involved in my business. Because my business and my brand now is me, and it's marketing me. And if they were involved, they would be working for me. So they all are entrepreneurs. See, I taught them well.
I get
right.
it, I get
it. It makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Wow. Ma'am, I'm so happy, and I'm happy that you're in the African community, coming into the African community to share your knowledge and to help empower our women. I really, really appreciate your endeavor. So I don't know if somebody is like watching this show out there and wants to get to meet you. Is there some kind of form of contact, or email address, or maybe office address or something?
Well, I'm hoping you're going to post it at the end of the video,
okay,
so it'll be available. But I will tell them, my brand on Google is The Wholesale Diva. So if you type in The Wholesale Diva, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm everywhere. The Wholesale Diva is all one word.
Okay, you can read the link below.
Yeah, he's going to put the link in my phone number.
Diva. Yeah, The Wholesale Diva.
Yeah.
She is the diva. Okay, Mom, thank you. Really appreciate having you on the program.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
So much.
Okay, thanks.
We're here competing with each other, and just to let you know, Lesser Dallas is well